Hello, my name is Kevin O'Rourke and welcome to the Inquisitorial Archive. That's the name I've decided to take for a series of RPG reviews as well as some of my own thoughts on RPGing in general as well as my own experiences. I'm not going to review anything in this video, however I'm going to tell you what you can expect in the future, and hopefully when I'm putting up this video I'll be putting up a few others at the same time. Primarily a lot of videos are going to be about some of the games that I've played. Probably far too much of. Dark Heresy and the other 40k RPGs included. And last week I got delivered Only War, which is looks quite promising, but I'll get to that later. It's not going to be just 40k RPGs, however. I also play a lot of other games and have more of a history with some other games. I'll probably be doing some reviews on various Pathfinder RPG books and supplements. I'll go through the various 40k RPGs. I've played quite... When you see the... because I'll show you my books as I get through a lot of them. When I show you my Rogue Trader core rule book, you'll see I've played an awful lot of it. I'm going to play Pathfinder. There's quite a few other games as well that I'd... like to show you, like Total War based in the Battletech universe. But first off, I'd like to tell you how I got into RPGs. Like a lot of people, I got into RPGs through playing tabletop war games. In this case, Warhammer 40,000. The game was coming towards the end of 2nd edition at the time, which seems I think they're on 6th edition now. That's quite a while ago. And through that I got into Warhammer Fantasy as well. I liked it. I got into the background, I quite liked it. And I noticed my gaming store, an old book in my local gaming store, and it was for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and I'd never played in an RPG. I knew little bits about them just from references to D&D in movies and stuff like that, but it's come a lot more common in movies lately. But movies and TV shows. But there was just a general nerdy side things. But I said, I really like Warhammer, and my friends really like Warhammer, so why not just get this book and we'll have fun? So I started off in role playing through GMing, which I had no experience of role playing games for that point, really hands on. So it was very kick in the door. I think I started one of the adventures. You're outside Necromancer's Tower, and the guys just went and killed stuff, and then they bought stuff back in town, then they went down and killed stuff. There was like no real journeying to places a lot of the time, unless it was just journeying to kill stuff on the way. Which, it was interesting. It gave me a few ideas about different things. I was definitely doing a lot of stuff wrong. No one's a perfect GM, and definitely not initially when I had no experiences of right and wrong. I got to play in and run a few other games with some of my friends. Ran some people I knew and met up with. Haven't kept on contact with all. Some people falling out, things like that. But everyone's playing style is different. I've had experience playing a lot of a modified game of Cyberpunk, very, very high level. Haven't played in a few years, but that was one approach. I played a lot of D&D 3.5, a bit of 3.0, but that was very much house ruled to hell and back, as I'd refer to it. Which is fun in its own way, but I was confused because I wasn't told all the house rules initially, which led to a bit of upset, because I was like, why can't I use necromancy spells? And they're like, because they're evil. They are. Can I not cast that spell then? I was like, no, you cast it. But of course I went through the book later on and checked up with various other people. There was a lot of necromancy spells have the evil descriptor, but not all necromancy spells are evil. So that was a bit, but later on I got to play more 3.5 games, different GMs. I don't mind house rules, as long as everyone's having fun, as long as it's explained to people. In that situation, it wasn't explained to me. But I have to admit, I had a lot of fun in those games too. I played a bit of, when I got to college I started playing with a different group of people. I got into more D&D 3.5, more conventional stuff. We played some of the Oriental adventures using the Rokugan sourcebook for 3.5. Well, it wasn't Rokugan sourcebook, it was just heavily influenced by it. It was meant for Legend of Five Rings, but they also made it just for doing an Oriental setting. I had stopped gymming for a few years. I gymmed, I think, one session of Star Trek. I gymmed lots of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay for first and second edition, and a little bit of Cyberpunk 2020. But when I got into college, I kind of lost contact with the gaming group I was playing with for a while. I got back into contact with a few of them, but I was just busy in college, and I just kind of wanted to change of pace. I started playing in other people's games of D&D, and one of the guys started running Dark Heresy, and it was fun. My first two characters, I think, the first character I think made quite a bit of a stir was called Brother Butchery. I wanted to play a cleric, but the clerics were they were able to get up their ballistic skill for some reason in the book. They were able to get up their ballistic skill cheaper than their weapon skill, which doesn't really fit into my mind for clerics in Warhammer 40,000, because they're not, the ecclesiarchy is not meant to have men under arms. So I made a character called Brother Butchery, who was a lay priest, and I used a guardsman class, sold off most of my gear. I had my armour, and I ran around with a chainsword and a bell, and I decided to come up with a bit of a background for his homeworld. All cats were evil, so he didn't care who the cat belonged to. He would kill the cat. I just decided to go, let's go crazy with it. And then the other side of it was, well, he was almost a redemptionist. He was quite a Puritan in many respects. Warhammer 40,000. The other area he went to, he believed it was a sin to kill people. Like, it wasn't sin to kill people, but it was sin to kill people without them knowing why you were killing them. So he had a big electu, a glowing tattoo across his forehead of the Aquila, which is a two-headed eagle. And he went charging around. I remember one time, while the rest of the group were setting up along buildings in a ruined underhive, and they were setting up sniping positions, my character and the group's arbiter, who was obviously very samurai influenced, the player come up with the world, we walked towards the main entrance to the building. My character took out his bell as we were walking towards this criminal outpost and started ringing the bell and telling them to repent their sins. Judgment has come on behalf of the Emperor. A fight ensued, but I had fun with the character. Eventually ended up him killing himself because one of the players was missing. He was playing a psyker, but there was a Perils to Warp role where he'd face a demon. I was like, well, this character, my character, will kill him unless there's someone there to calm down. Everyone else seemed on board for that, and the player wasn't there to defend his character. So I said, well, my character in character creation had asked GM, said, in the choices for guardsmen, you can get a Imperial Guardsman's Uplifting Primer, which is a sort of an army book, a book for members of the Imperial Army, or a mercenary's license, or if you were from a penal legion of some kind, an explosive collar. And I said to GM, my guy's not really fitting into the background of those. I want to be kind of like lay cleric. Can I have the explosive collar and have a detonator myself, and have my superiors have a detonator, and he'd detonate himself yet in case he was overcome by, in case he would be overcome by demons. Better to die by his own hand than be consumed by demons. So he was willing to risk it in the name of the Emperor and the Holy Orders. It was a different kettle of fish. At the time, the character had just seen this. The Psyker had rolled Perils of the Warp, so he came with a demonic visage, and he ran like hell. I failed the fear test, which is good, because otherwise my character just chainsword out, chop, dead. So my character ran, and I went out, and there was giant mutant rats. So I decided my character's not from a hive world, and it's definitely not from this hive world. So I rationalised my character, went, okay. My character sees that the end is coming for him and his allies, that demons are here, so he's going to kill the demonic horde before they consume him. This is what he perceived the rats to be, a demonic horde. Exploded he detonated his explosive collar, killing himself. GM goes, oh, do you want to burn a fate point? I was like, no, this is everyone around the table was laughing their heads off. I was like, no, this is fantastic, Ed. This is really funny, this is entertaining. But I will burn a fate. I think I had 2 fate points. I didn't use either of them. No fate points yet that game. I'd like to burn a fate point to save my bell, because the bell's very important to the character. So one of the guys actually pick up the bell from the charred ruins of his corpse afterwards. everyone else had been sleeping when the spell when the Psyker's ability went off, so nobody else saw the demonic visage. After that, I got back into GMing. I started, unsurprisingly, with Dark Heresy. I ran a fun little game which later on I would follow up with an Ascension game years later, which didn't work out quite so well. We'll talk about that another time. But just once again to reiterate, I'm going to wrap up now because I don't want the first video going on terribly long. I'd like to start working on other ones. I'm going to go through some of the 40k RPG books, but as well as that Pathfinder D&D books I have. I'll try by and large to stick to the book I'm talking about at the time, but it's difficult to do this sometimes. And I'll also be talking about, I have a substantial collection of RPG books. It's a reasonable way to put it. I have a substantial collection. I remember when I was moving in with another one of my friends, I started bringing in books. He was like, how many books do you have there? I said, I'm just after bringing in 27 books. And he's like, 27 books? Jeez, you've got an awful lot of RPGs. He played RPGs. And I laughed at him and I said, oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I don't think I've reached 100, but I've quite a few. I'll probably start talking about some of the old World of Darkness books, and I have some of the new World of Darkness books as well. I didn't quite fall in love with the background as much with the new World of Darkness, although I have had some fun experiences. A friend played he took heavily from, but he modified a lot of stuff for Mage the Ascension, a game. He played a futuristic game with it, where it was a lot of fun. Didn't run particularly long, but gave me some experience, more experience with the system. I played one in the New World of Darkness setting. Played a game where everyone was just where everyone was a mortal. We were all mortals, and that was interesting. Things didn't stay that way, but that game actually ran for quite a long time. Run by a friend of mine I haven't seen in a few years. He's working some far distant corner up the country. I'm Irish, by the way, and I think I should wrap it up there because I could quite easily keep rambling for quite some time, but we'll just save that for future videos. Once more, looking forward to you again. My name's Kevin O'Rourke, and I hope to see you in future videos. Bye.